Hello, my Resin Monkeys! I am happy to say that this is my first episode of a new mini-series called Back to Basics. On top of the normal videos I do for my channel, I am now making some videos explaining the basics to GK building for beginners and why not, everybody else too. I've already touched several topics in past videos, but it looks like they get lost, so I decided to remake them and add them to the list of topics that I already have for you guys. I get this asked a lot, so I decided to answer that request in this first episode, which is your first GK. I can say that to be able to pick your first garage kit, you need to consider several things. For starters, pick a figure that's not too big or too small. The sweet spot seems to be between a 1/8 and a 1/7 scale kit, with around 10 to 15 pieces, give or take. You will have a hard time painting, prepping, and also putting together. If the figure is too small, then you will get frustrated due to the fact that a lot of pieces will require fine detailing, like the eyes and face. The scale and number of pieces is a big factor to consider. Here are some good examples of kits for beginners. Students and Sailor Fukus are very common among a lot of animes, and these are perfect to start with. Take this Minako in her regular school uniform. She has 14 pieces, the size is very decent for a 1/8 scale. The design is simple too. Kits like these are ideal because you don't need to mask a lot of areas, use a lot of colors, and you don't have a hard time with the difficulty of the kit, which is low. Here's another kit with a school uniform. She just has 17 pieces. This can be considered as a beginner kit as her uniform is simple to paint and even mask. She also doesn't require a lot of colors, and the interesting thing about this kit is that the shoes are separated from the legs, which is great because it saves the trouble of masking an area where white and brown get together. Now, remember that I mentioned that choosing very small kits is a problem? This is why. This is a 1/12 scale kit, and it's too small to start, especially if it just has 2 pieces. You will have a hard time painting this. The eyes on a small figure are a great challenge, and if you're not accustomed to painting tiny eyes, you'll have a more than frustrating time trying to paint them. The fact that this kit is a single piece cranks up the difficulty because you will need to be more careful when masking and making straight lines, not to mention painting between the legs, little nooks and crannies. In other words, small kits give you very little space for mistakes and don't forgive that easily. Now, even if the kit is an ideal scale, sometimes the complexity level will be off the roof because it has more than 30 pieces. This kit is deceivingly easy, but when you look at all the 54 pieces that it has, your life will get a little bit more complicated. The amount of small pieces on kits like these is to pretty much make you crazy if you're just starting out. This is why it's important to check the number of parts on the small kits before you buy it. Of course, there are other kits you can start off with. Beach Queens are very popular, although not particularly a fan of them, but hey, it's there. There are other kits that are not necessarily school uniforms or bikinis, but more of a casual look. Let's take this Miku kit for example. She's a 1/7 scale and she just has 16 parts. The outfit that she has is very simple and cute, and well, she comes with a lot of options to customize colors. Once you have these factors in mind to choose your kit, be sure to choose a character that you actually like so that you can identify with it. A lot of people think that if they paint a kit that's simple but they're unfamiliar with the character, they will most likely not be inspired to try their best to paint it. So getting something small and cheap to practice is not always the best way to go. Another thing to remember is if you finish your kit and it doesn't look like how you imagined it or how you envisioned it, don't feel down. Don't get disappointed and don't feel like you're never going to do something nice. 90% of the people who start will never do a perfect job on their first kit. But the good thing is that you can learn from your mistakes and get better at painting future kits. Practice makes perfect. Determination, patience, and dedication will help you get to the point where you can make amazing kits. Lastly, I want to tell you that if you want to buy your first kit, do it anywhere except eBay, please. Thai sellers will try to sell kits at very cheap prices, but the quality is horrible. You are pretty much getting what you paid for. Some people out there say that using a Thai kit is good practice. However, I disagree because the point of starting this hobby is to have fun, and Thai kits will only give you nightmares. So just avoid them in general. Another thing that people fear is buying an original and screwing it up. Well, here's some more good news for you. You can always go back and repaint it. You can just strip the paint, wash it off, and start reworking it. There are no rules written in stone that say that you can't go back and do it again. So be it original or recast, do your best, and I guarantee that you will have a lot of fun in the process and learn along the way. All you need to do is lose the fear of screwing up, because you will, but let me tell you what, it's okay.
I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good.
Obviously, yeah, we know that this movie will said that being a villain is okay, but you get the idea, right? If you fail, it's okay. So yeah, move on, practice, and get better. Now, I do have an old video on the type of materials and tools that you will need to start. Check it out here, and I'll see you next week on the next episode of Back to Basics, where I touch safety and cleaning. Remember that there will be a new episode each week, so tune in next time. Also, check out the description below for links to online stores where you can buy good quality kits. And as always, thanks for watching.